we can write the.
Okay, so today we will discuss about how to avoid distractor. So in this session, we will talk about what are the distractors in the listening module and how you can avoid it, right? So anyone having any idea about what are distractors? Have you came across distractors while doing any of the listening mock tests? Yes, anyone? Have you ever came across distractor? Have you ever heard this word? What is distractor? Mhm. Yes, please. No one?
मैम एग्जैक्ट वर्ड्स याद नहीं आ रहे, बट डिस्ट्रैक्टर तो हम जब व्हेन आई लिसन दी ऑडियो ना, एट दैट टाइम वी कैन, like we have to listen, we have to distract their distractors, like sun, if they give a sun, so they like
Yes.
1947, so they used to word like close with them, and after that they uh, speak right words, so that is the distractors.
Hmm. So what are distractors? You should be aware of the distractor. The listening test, they are out to show which candidate can listen effectively and which can't. Now, one of the ways to doing this is to set traps. Distractors क्या होते हैं? Traps होते हैं आपके लिए. And see whether you fall into that trap or not. Now, suppose I say that today's session is going to be about how to avoid distractors. Oh, sorry, today's session is about signposting language. So, what is today's session about? Signposting language, right?
Signposting language.
So, this is distractor which says that today's session is this. Sorry, we will discuss about something else. Now, if I say, now listen to me carefully. Please mute yourself. Yes. Now, if your audio says, if a speaker is talking about that, please plan my appointment or schedule my appointment for Monday morning, 8 a.m. Oh, sorry, I'm busy on this Monday morning. Can you do it on Tuesday morning, 8 a.m.? So, Monday morning is a distractor. Tuesday is the correct answer. Got it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So you need to see these traps. जब भी आप ऑडियो को लिसन करते हो, you need to know about these traps and how you can avoid them. You have to listen to the complete audio. Just do not stick to the first word you listen. Right? So we will look at the common traps. हम सारे common traps देखने वाले हैं यहाँ पे. Now see. So in this session we will look at the form of distractor जो बहुत common होता है आपका part 1 of the listening test में. Part 1 listening test क्या होता है? What is part 1 listening test? What is section 1 of your listening?
Ma'am, monologue.
Conversation.
Conversation. Part
Form
1 is a conversation
Conversation.
about social context. तो इसमें you will hear a speaker जो correct करता है खुद को and then the speaker will correct them, right? Other speaker will correct them. Now speaker will give you a piece of information and you will think ये right answer. जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि please plan my appointment or schedule my appointment for Tuesday morning. Oh, sorry, I'm busy on Tuesday, busy on Monday. Can you do it on Tuesday? So this is something आपने piece of information दिया, but that is the wrong one. आप उसको correct कर रहे हो. So that is distractor. Speaker will then correct what they have said, and the new corrected piece of information आपका क्या होता है? Right answer होता है. Sorry, but, no, yes. Just make sure of these words. Distractors are most often seen in dialogues, where a speaker says something and is then corrected by other speaker. So that means conversations. और conversations कहाँ पर होती हैं? पार्ट 1 में एंड पार्ट 3 में. Part 2 and part 4 is a monologue. So distractors, they often come in dialogues part. So this means that you hear the same piece of information in two versions. One is correct and one is incorrect. आपको correct information भी सुनाई देगी and incorrect भी सुनाई देगी. If you are not listening carefully, it's easy to write down the wrong one. अगर आप एक एक्टिव लिसनर नहीं हो तो आप इनकरेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन को जल्दी से कैच करके राइट डाउन करोगे अपने आंसर को एंड देन यू विल मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. सो मेक श्योर कि आप करेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन को राइट डाउन करो. लेट्स सी फ्यू एग्जांपल्स ऑफ डिस्ट्रैक्टर. So these two examples of distractors are taken from the real IELTS listening test. The distractor is in red color, right? And the correct answer is in blue color. So see this. Can you see the example here on the right side of the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So this example says, in this situation, a woman is booking a journey into town for when she arrives at Toronto airport. You have to note down the distance of the town, Milton, from the airport. Take a look at the information before you have to find in the question. Below that is a copy of listening script. Now see here. Man says, hello, this is land transport. Information at Toronto airport. How may I help you? Woman says, oh, good morning. I'm flying to Toronto airport next week and I need to get to a town called Milton. Could you tell me how can I get there? So she's asking about how she can get there. कैसे जा सकती है वहां पे? Now man says, Milton, did you say? Let me see. I think that's about 150 miles southwest of here. In fact, it's 147 miles. So this is the correct answer. In fact, it's 147 miles to be exact. So it will take you at least say 3 to 4 hours by road. So now can you see? First, he said 150 miles. But after this, after few words, he mentioned about 147 miles to be exact. So what is the correct answer?
147 miles.
Yes.
147.
And what is the distractor here?
150 miles.
Yes. So you have to be careful that when you're listening to the audio, you cannot decide the answer at once. कि ये जो first answer है यही आपका desired correct answer है. No. Always listen to the next part also. He may talk about that he's saying something wrong, but the exact one is 147 miles. Let's see one more example. Now see, this example is again from the listening test when the woman is arranging to book a hire car to make the journey when she arrives. So the question is about date of booking. You will hear every time the dates will be interchanging or they're going to talk about something else. Now man here, he says, okay, I just have to fill out this form for you. So what date do you want to book this for? So now man is filling the form, right? And that woman is giving the details. So now man is asking, what date do you want to book this for? Woman says the 16th of October. And then he mentions, oh, no, sorry. That's my departure date. I arrive on the 17th. So book it for then, please. So can you see this word sorry? So sorry means he wants to mention something else. So again, what is the distractor here? 16th of October. And the correct answer is 17th of October.
17th.
Right? So you will likely to think कि हमारा first answer क्या होगा? 16th October होगा. And you will write it down. But no, this is wrong. This is your distractor. She's booking for 17th of October. So the ultimate correct answer is 17th, not 16th. 16th is a distractor. Okay, before this, let me give you an example. I'm going to talk about one audio script and you have to tell me the correct answer also and the distractors also. I'm deciding. Now I'm starting. Okay? So listen to me carefully. I'm planning to go Bangalore, so I decided to book a cab. Cab was at higher prices. I decided to book a train, but a train was not available. So I decided to board a flight. Flight was of some unusual hours, so I decided to go by my own car. What is the ultimate mode of transportation I took?
Car.
Car.
And what are the distractors here?
Plane.
Plane.
Train,
And flight.
plane,
And flight.
plane is flight only. Train,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, right? So you have to think about ki all these were the distractors in the beginning. The ultimate thing which I took the transportation was my own car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's see the another example. Now here, a career advisor is trying to help a student to find a part-time job. So can you see position available, clerical assistant, problem, evening lecture. Now advisors say, but you would need to be there at 6 a.m. Does that appeal? Student says, 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, that's far too early for me. I'm afraid I would never make it that early in the morning. Advisors say, well, there was a position going in the computer lab for 3 days a week that might be okay. Ah, here it is. No, it's in the library, not the lab. So the position is, kahan par hai position?
Library.
Library, not in the computer lab. Because he said, no, it's in the library. So that means the correct answer is library, not the computer lab. So make sure when you listen, you have to be careful for these of the distractors. Let's see another example. Now here the advisor is trying to find out the student's room number. Student says, I'm in one of the halls of the residence for postgraduate students. You know, international house. Advisor say, okay, that's easy. What's your room number there? Student says, room B569. No, sorry, it's B659. I always get that wrong. I haven't been living there very long. Now, one tip for you here is the moment you listen to the wrong, the distractor basically, write it down in your answer sheet, write it down in your question paper, but not in the answer sheet. No matter how many distractors you write, the moment you start listening to the audio, but find the ultimate correct answer, which is B659. Okay? Everybody got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So what you can do is you can listen to the distractors, you're writing the answers, but then you can decide later on that he said, no, sorry. The correct answer is B659. Now see here, example number 5. Would you tell me, please, how can I join the library? Well, you need an ID card and we ask for 2 passport size photos. There is also a small fee. It costs 2.80. But if you are a student, it costs 2.50. No, sorry, it will cost you 2. So question was, if you are a student, what is the fee you have to pay to join the library? Yes.
Two.
Yes.
Two.
So if you are
Two.
a student, it will cost you 2. Not 2.8, not 2.5. Right? Mhm. Okay, now I'm going to share. Yes. So can you see my screen now? This is example number 6.
Yes.
Now you have to select the correct answer here. And B, there are 2 people. Question says, what does Professor Lewis teach? So quickly read it and find the answer. We welcome Professor Joseph Lewis, who teaches American and Canadian studies at the University of Birmingham. Good evening, Professor Lewis. Now, second person, the B person, he says, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. There's a small mistake in your introduction, though. I teach 20th century American literature. So, what does Professor Lewis teach?
20th century American literature.
What about others?
American and Canadian studies.
Sorry?
American and
Why
Canadian.
American and Canadian studies?
Ma'am, the here they asked Professor Louis.
Oh yeah.
Yes, anybody
Okay.
else?
Professor Joseph
Answers.
Louis. Ma'am, are these both same? Yeah, Professor Joseph Louis and Professor
We
Louis.
welcome Professor Joseph Lewis. हम वेलकम कर रहे हैं प्रोफेसर जॉयस लुइस का, जो क्या
मैम वो
पढ़ाते हैं?
अमेरिकन कैनेडियन स्टडीज करवाते
Yes.
हाँ, yes, ma'am. That's why. But
Right.
here this
हाँ, but it's saying there is small mistake in your introduction. I teach. तो प्रोफेसर लुइस बोल रहे हैं कि एक मिस्टेक हो गई है इंट्रोडक्शन में. I teach 20th century American literature.
okay.
Right? So once you are reading, then you're making mistakes. So listening में तो how come you're gonna make more mistakes, right? So please be careful of the distractor. उन्होंने बोला ना कि there's a small mistake. That means ये distractor था, American and Canadian study. The correct answer is 20th century American literature. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now some tips for the distractors part. Always make sure that you are aware of correction distractors. Now, it also emphasizes the importance of listening very carefully. Be aware of possible distractors, particularly in part 1 and in part 3. Part 1 mein to it's very common. They are going to talk about the last name and then they will spell out correctly. ठीक है, last name का or maybe the phone number is incorrect, but then they will talk about the correct phone number. Don't assume the first thing you hear as the answer is the actual answer. तो सबसे पहले जो सुन रहे हो, it's not कि वो आपका actual answer है. Listen carefully to what comes after that. So that means पूरे sentence को आप carefully सुनो. Words like no and sorry. These two words tell you that there may be another answer coming up to correct the first one. Right? Take a look at the examples above. Like we have already seen the example, those words, they appear in several of the examples, right? Ki first they will talk about something else and then they will talk about the correct one. Distractors, they often involve some kind of number. So take particular care when you hear numbers also. The phone numbers also, the room numbers also, any kind of numbers, right? Always listen very carefully the complete entire statement. Okay, let's do this. Can you see this example question? Okay, quickly read it and then you have to tell me what are the distractors here. Your question is the man ordered dash t-shirts. So you have to look, you have to find out how many t-shirts the man ordered. Man says, "Hi, I'm calling to confirm a delivery of 30 t-shirts to my apartment in Waterloo." Woman, "I see. Let me have a look. Only we have one order for Waterloo, sir, and it's for 13 t-shirts, not 30. Ah, yes. Did I say 30? Sorry, I meant 13. It's 13 t-shirts. So, how many t-shirts the man ordered? What are the distractors here?
30.
30.
And what is the correct answer?
13.
So 30 is a distractor, 13 is a correct answer. Let's do one more.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to look for the correct postcode here. Man says, "Where do you live, Linda?" Linda says, "Unit 15, Maximilian Way." That's in Wildfield, right? I have a cousin who lives in that area. Yes,
Yes.
Wildfield. And the postcode is 7755. Linda says, "Not quite. You have got it the wrong way around. It's 5577. So what's the distractor here and what's the correct answer?
Ma'am,
Double seven double
distractor
five
double
is
seven double five
distractor and 5577 is correct answer.
is correct answer. Yes.
So the moment you are going to hear 7755, do not just write the answer in the answer sheet. Make sure you listen it carefully. It's a number, right? Okay, next
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
Now you have to look for the date of birth. Man says, "Just one more thing, your date of birth. But I can get that from the card. One moment. Look, I'm afraid you haven't copied it down correctly. I was born on 25th September 1990. Ma'am, what have I written? Oh, yes, I see now. I have got the 25th of the 8th month, but would make it August? So, what is a distractor here?
मैम अगस्त वाला डिस्ट्रैक्टर है
Yes.
Or September is the correct.
or is the correct answer?
Yes. So 25th
Yes.
September 1990 is the correct answer. But what he has written, 25th of 8th month. That is
August.
August. So that is
Oh,
the incorrect. So I hope now you got an idea what are distractors,
yes, ma'am.
right? So make sure you do the complete analysis of the distractor. And it's not very difficult that you're not able to find the answers when the dialogue is written down, right? But when you're listening, remember you hear the audio only once. Here you saw the distractors in a written format. So you don't get confused. But in the audio, it's very easier कि आप confuse हो जाओगे, right? Because in dialogue, both words 30 and 13 are repeated several times. So sound भी क्या लगता है? Similar लगता है, right? So you have to be prepared according to the listening part, not to the writing part. In dialogue 2 also, the wrong answer is given first, followed by the right answer. But dialogue 3 जो हमने करा, उसमें right answer पहले था. 25th September was first and then wrong answer बाद में था. This means you can't predict the order. तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपको डिस्ट्रैक्टर पहले मिलेगा, डिस्ट्रैक्टर बाद में भी मिल सकता है, right? लाइक दिस एग्जाम्पल, इस एग्जाम्पल में करेक्ट आंसर पहले है एंड डिस्ट्रैक्टर्स बाद में है, बट दिस एग्जाम्पल इसमें आपका डिस्ट्रैक्टर पहले है और करेक्ट आंसर बाद में है. सो मेक श्योर कि आप पूरा कंप्लीट सेंटेंस सुनो कि 7755 है या 7755 है, राइट? So the distractor, they often come with an extra spin. Easily confused words होते हैं और words जो हम unusual way में बोले जाते हैं. So now when you know about the distractors, you will be at least expecting कि वो आपके listening audios में आएंगे ही आएंगे. But the very best way to deal with this कि आप उसे practice करो. So now whenever you are attempting any of the mock tests, you can assume that you are going to have a distractor, right? Clear? So is the distractor part clear now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Any doubts in this one?